They said the empire was built on gold, and now the headlines say the stories unfold. Flashing lights, courtroom rows, silence loud, and the pressure grows. From Harlem streets to the Forbes list, now he's sitting where the storm hits. Cameras on, but who's legit? Truth and lies in the same script. Diddy defense team got 8 on the move. Agnafilo, Jarago, Shapiro, Steele, Donaldson, Westmoreland, Estavo and Driscoll. The feds got him on 5 charges. They say he on that RICO. Media says he is guilty out the gate. 8 male jurors and 4 women hold his fate. No cameras allowed in the court. Content creators screaming more, more, more. Diamonds heavy, but the weight's not cash. Every step watched through the media flash. Friends turn foes and the past don't pass. When receipts get pulled and they come in stacks. Official transcripts will show the full story. Full statements, but the details may be gold. They wanna put me on trial, put my name on file. Want me to hang it up, but that ain't my style. Say I'm back on road, no hand on Bible. We got this game in a chokehold. Yeah, I'm so cold. My whole career they tried to test me and I aced it. When you want something done, you gotta go and get it. Hate to put you on blast, but it's not up for debate. When the odds stacked against me, victims' names not being used to keep from getting approached by the accused. Kanye showing up in white, saying Diddy fight, fight. What's legacy when it's on the line? Is the name you built still gonna shine? Or does silence scream like a warning sign while the world debates guilt or crime? Every empire's got a tale untold. Every mogul's got nights cold. But behind closed doors, who holds control? Truth is a mirror and it never folds. Spotlight shadows can't outrun fate. Every crown's heavy when it's tied to the state. From the charts to the court, it's a razor blade. Walking the edge that the headlines made. Did the feds charge Diddy for his crimes, or just some for some freak off good times? Baby oil galore, but the feds say there is much more. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This will be left to the 12 on the jury committee. Is this a RICO, or just a man being major sicko? Was he really the king or just a fling? Did Diddy do what they say? Will NYC jail be where he will stay? Did he bop in the hotels on the top floors? Different bows in different area codes. Some would call them the defense saying evidence is a blur. Some witnesses concur. Will the bad boy for life be serving life, or will he get the win and be in the next jet to Berlin? Spotlight shadows can't outrun fate. Every crown's heavy when it's tied to the state. From the charts to the court, it's a razor blade. Walking the edge that the headlines made. The devil is in the details. While the world debates guilt or crime, is it RICO or freak off?
Diddy says he is love, love, love.
They said the empire was built on gold, and now the headlines say the stories unfold. Flashing lights, courtroom rows, silence loud, and the pressure grows. From Harlem streets to the Forbes list, now he's sitting where the storm hits. Cameras on, but who's legit? Truth and lies in the same script. Diddy defense team got 8 on the move. Agnafilo, Jarago, Shapiro, Steele, Donaldson, Westmoreland, Estavo and Driscoll. The feds got him on 5 charges. They say he on that RICO. Media says he is guilty out the gate. 8 male jurors and 4 women hold his fate. No cameras allowed in the court. Content creators screaming more, more, more. Diamonds heavy, but
Hey everybody, it's me, Sylvia. I know I'm coming on late. I'm not going to stay on too long. I just came on to answer some of you guys' questions because I know you guys have some questions and also to make some correction on what I had said earlier in regard to which juror it was. I was counting on the number of the person's seat because they said it was juror 5, right? And juror 5 was the young lady, if you just count the individuals on the seat, because I was counting like they did with the other guy who was number 6, but they didn't give his actual real juror number. So the real juror, that number is number 5, not the seating. So it is not the young lady that I thought it was. It is the young man, the bank investor, the banker and banking investor. That is he. He's a Caucasian young man. So my mistake, my mistake. My apologies for giving you guys the incorrect information. I was going by the seating, which number 5 would have been that African American young lady, but it was not. It is the young man, and that's that. This young man is one young man that I have seen him. He constantly write. He's always writing. So I really don't know exactly where he stands, but I could tell you one thing: he's a tattletale. Woody! Woody! Come on up, Woody! Woody! You saw my verdict. I said the verdict will be not guilty. Didn't you see my my shade room my shade room interview? You saw my shade room interview. I said not guilty. But that I did say guilty on the prostitution. I did say guilty on that one, but the Rico was not guilty. And the other one was not guilty. And only on not Jane, only on what's her name? Cassie. Only on Cassie. Come on up, Woody. Come on up. I miss you. I miss coming to church. I miss you. I miss you, Woody. I really do miss you. But you know what? They may get a hung jury because the jury came back with question. And so that means there's some problems. And remember, jury number 5 complained about jury number 25. And they said that jury number 25 cannot follow the judge's instruction. So it may be a hung jury. It may be a hung jury. It may be a hung jury. That's what I believe because um it may be. I mean, it's just a guess because I don't know for sure. I'm not on the jury, so I don't know. Miss Sylvia, you need to pull up the TMV interview with the caregiver of the twin outside the courtroom about Cassie and Jane. Hold on a second. Somebody had to send that to me earlier. Hold on. Somebody sent that to me earlier. Hold on. Oh gosh, hold on a second, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, let me go pull it up. Hold on, y'all. Gotta pull it up for y'all. So you not worried about what took place today? What took place today? What happened? What happened today? What happened today, Shanna? What happened? What took place that I need to be worried about? What in the world took place that I have to be worried about? What took place? Hold on. I'm not understanding what you mean. Am I worried about what took place? I'm not. Somebody just sent me a Apple Pay. Thank you. Thank you. You know, with Apple Pay, I don't be seeing the name of the person if they're not on my phone. So thank you, whoever sent me that Apple Pay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. I really appreciate it. The question about the distribution of the rug distribution. Am I worried about that? Uh-uh. Um, when jurors they're going through the whole paperwork, right? They're going through the whole 62 pages of jury charge, jury instruction. And in the past, when I was a juror, we did that kind of stuff. We went through everything before we made a decision. And it went by, first we voted and see where we stood in the beginning, and then after that we went through the different questionnaire and stuff like that. So it's normal. It's normal. It doesn't mean that there's actually a person is voting for guilty on that. It's just that they might have individuals who feel different, and they're, to me, I believe that the jurors are seeing different, that are not seeing eye to eye. That's what I see. I see they're not seeing eye to eye. Yeah, they're not seeing eye to eye. That's what usually happens. And usually when they have questions to those things, those are the question they're having difficulties in. That's why they're coming back to the judge asking them question. And did you hear what the question was, right? Let me go ahead and read what the actual question was. Hold on a second. I got the transcript right here. Hold on a second. Let me bring it up. Uh-oh, what's wrong with my thing? Hold on, my thing is not showing. It's not pulling up. It's not moving. I'm pulling up the wrong thing. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Stop sharing. It's not the one I wanted to show. Hold on a second. Let me go. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm trying to pull up the right one. Trying to pull up the right one. I'm trying to pull up the right one for the transcript. Yeah, it's hot in this house. All right, here's the questionnaire. Hold on a second. Hold on, there we go. Let me pull it up for you guys. Do you know if they came up with the answer? No, they're gonna do the answer tomorrow. What happened to juror 25? Juror 25, the juror number 5 complained about juror number 25, saying that juror number 25 cannot follow the judge's instruction. Juror number 25 cannot follow the judge's instruction. That tell you, that shows a issue too, y'all. Everybody's banking on saying, "Oh, the juror is gonna come up with a guilty verdict," and people saying all that stuff. That first part tells you there's some issue going on. There's some issue going on. That means you're not gonna have a slam dunk. There's gonna be some sort of hung jury. You get what I'm saying? I believe that they have questions. It could mean they're not agreeing. Exactly, CT Benny. That's why I said that's when they're not agreeing. If they didn't have any question, that means they're all in agreement. So questions are gonna come about because they're not in agreement. And for having that one juror. Yeah, division. Yes, Lillian, I agree. But people don't understand, especially folks who has never been a juror. They don't understand when there are questions. Now, you would be more surprised if there's no questions coming from a juror. That means there's an agreement. There's the energies there that, I mean, you got some strong-willed individual from New York. You got New Yorkers in that room. Strong-willed individual. You heard that juror saying something. And remember, that juror number 5 is complaining about is a scientist. It's a scientist. He's not a dummy. Get what I'm saying? And you have some strong-willed individual that is in the that jury room. And I know folks are listening to different people coming up with all kinds of theories and thought and stuff like that. And they've never been a jury. They don't understand the whole process of jury duty and what they do in the back room. So, yeah, he's a PhD. Yes, Cece. So, when folks come in running out to give you and say, "Hey, there's a problem," there's a jury's that Diddy's going down and all this. When they have questions like that, that means there's some stuff going on, that there's some division, there's some fighting in the back row. I'm not saying physically fighting. Yeah, think about the age. I'm gonna give you out the age again, the age ranges of jurors. Hold on, I'm gonna give you out the age range. Thank you, Shauna, for the thank you for putting your name there so I know it's you. Thank you for the Apple Pay. Hold on a second. Let me just give you guys the age range of those jurors again so you will see what I'm talking about. So that's why it's not a slam dunk, y'all. It's not a slam dunk. Okay, you got a 31-year-old. Okay, the 31-year-old is the one that's the foreman. The 31-year-old. They're 31 investment analysts, right? Investment analysts. And then you have a 39-year-old. You got a 41-year-old. You got a 51-year-old, you got a 68-year-old, another 68, a 67, a 69-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 42-year-old, a 43-year-old, and a 74-year-old. So you get what I'm saying? So you have all these different ages, and these people are stuck in, a lot of them are stuck in their ways. Remember, older people are stuck in their ways. You got them all stuck in their ways. Hey, the black guy, come on in. I'm gonna put the link in there so you could come. Um, so that's what's happening. That it because him and I was talking. The baddest blogger. We were talking about it. Him and I both, we experienced um courtroom, as a juror and things like that. There's a lot of things that goes in behind it. So who is juror 25? Juror 25 is the scientist. He's a scientist. And juror number 5, who is the foreperson, he is the bank and the investor. Is that good or bad? I can't say whether or not it's good. All you know is that they are not in agreement. Those jurors are not in agreement, because right off the bat you heard the foreperson saying that the juror number 25 cannot follow the judge's instruction. So that right off the bat you hear some problems right off the bat. Were you able to find the video with the twins caregiver? Yeah, I have that video. Hold on. Hey, baddest blogger.
Hey, Miss Sylvia, what's up? I didn't know you was going live.
Yeah, I said let me go live for a few minutes before I go to bed. Cause you
Oh,
let me sleep. You letting me sleep tomorrow a little later. See, this morning I had to get out of here at 3 o'clock. So, and people were sending me messages. Oh, I thought you had a ride. What happened? I'm like, he had something to do.
yeah, it was actually I forgot all about it. I had a meeting with my attorney this morning at 8, so I had forgot all about it. That's what it was. So last night when I was going through my emails and stuff, I had saw that I had it scheduled. So, but we on schedule tomorrow.
Yeah, so I get to sleep a little later.
Yeah.
There's a question. Could you explain to them from your point of view why there's a question and the whole process with jurors? 'Cause I try to explain to them there is normally when they're questioning like that is because there's some like division and they're not, you know what I mean, trying to clarify certain things in that particular
You talking about
charge.
with the jury question?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically they are going through. They're actually doing their job. They're going through the instructions. I just need clarification on, like the question they posed. It was if a recipient wants a controlled substance and somebody give it to them, did they distribute it? And so I guess the instructions are not clear on like that whole part or what have you. So the jury is kind of like stuck on, you know, whatever wherever they are like on the instructions, they are on the part about the drugs or the distribution. But Diddy didn't distribute it no drugs though, right?
Yeah, but they still trying to say, even if you pass it like a joint, for example,
Right.
joint.
It's distributing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So,
trying
and
to say if you pass a joint, and even in the instructions it says pass or sell or give, it all falls under distributing. I just don't think passing a blunt is distributing, but
well, Kiki saying the answer is yes, but remember, they
yeah,
can't say yes, because remember the prosecutor wanted to just put yes, yes, but defense came back and said, basically just to read the instruction.
Mm-hmm.
So I just believe that they're having some sort of disagreement within
Yeah.
the camp, because
Yeah.
there's going to be a hung jury, because these people are strong-willed individual, and you could
Right.
tell when they were sitting
Yeah.
in the thing.
Yeah. They
They
got
were
their
sitting,
minds made up on certain
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and it's like you can't trick them, and they're just trying to follow the
The
rule of
law.
the judge.
Yeah.
And so I believe that one juror, the one that they complained about, had already
Mm-hmm.
made up his mind already what he was going to.
Yeah.
So
Facts. Facts. And you know what? His mind could have been made up either way. It could have been made up not guilty, or could have been made up guilty. But I'm gonna say this. I feel, from my understanding, even if you go in there with a mind, with your mind already made up, they can't force you to like go through the delivery. Like, you can sit there and don't say nothing and just listen to everybody. But you are right, Miss Sylvia. Now that I think about it, they are having some type of back and forth, because if you read the question, it's
yep.
kind of like people, it seems like they're in the jury room. Some people saying it is distributing, some people saying it's not distributing. So how about we just ask the judge and see what it is? So they probably is having some back and forth about what it is, because even on my live people were saying it wasn't distributing, and then some people were saying it was, and then I did research and it was saying it was, whether they give you money or you just give it to somebody for free. But I would think the amount of it would be what would be considered distributing. But
But
I
remember,
mean,
they said in the instruction, it doesn't matter the amount. But here's the
yeah,
thing, I gotta remember. There's one
one
part
part that
that the government did not mention. They mentioned if he was intoxicated, that therefore there's a ruling based on that too, that you
right.
can't. So they gotta bring that involved. So
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta you just gotta hold off and let the jury make a decision. And no, nobody
Yeah,
has decided any guilty verdict, because somebody just put this as if you're hearing somebody saying that, they lying. There's no guilty
yeah.
verdict there. They
No,
haven't even.
there's no guilty verdict.
Hey,
Um,
hey, CT Benny. Hey, Raven.
Hello.
CT
hey,
go. CT go first, and then Raven.
Okay, yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
So
hey.
I was
Hello.
just kind of like to veggie back of what he just said, but um, so what? Do you know the answer to that? Is that considered distribution or
According to the government said yes, but the defense is saying something different. So tomorrow we'll hear what the answer that they're going to give to the jury.
that's going to be very interesting? What the answer is going to be.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be very telling. Whatever the answer is, that's important. That's an important part of it. But that's
Right.
all I have for now. But I hope they free the man. I think he deserves to go home, but
I agree.
you don't know.
Me too.
But you know what? They're trying to find something on her, especially not the jury. I'm just saying the government.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice how the government tried to take that section, the the BlackBerry subject section out when she was saying so.
Hmm.
They're just trying to be unfair, I believe, and it is what it is.
Yeah, they're taking out about the HRNY type situation.
Yeah,
They don't want the jury to see that. But that's the thing that I hate about the state, the government, is that why put on a case and you trying to hide exculpatory evidence or any evidence that will help the defendant, and you already got it into evidence. You get what I'm saying? And then why are y'all still trying to litigate stuff that's already been litigated?
Yeah, careers are at stake and reputations. They don't care. They really don't. People are looking out for themselves at this point. But the
but
case is
people
so.
don't
In my
understand. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say the case. In my opinion, the case has been weak since day one, and every day has just been it's becoming weaker and weaker by the minute, if you ask me. But maybe I'm biased, but that's just my opinion.
I got my 2 cents to add here.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at the verdict form, and what really concerns me is they used to have the other predicate acts and whatever, the bribery, the taken, the witness tampering, and then the forced labor. But now they're adding the second to fifth counts. So these guys obviously have a weak case.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, they do.
they're flinging everything at the wall to see what sticks.
That's
And now we can like or hate Diddy all we want, but to me, we want this guy to be acquitted because I will say why. Private bedroom life. The government is going to invade more people. So this isn't about Diddy. Everyone should be concerned.
and people don't understand that. They don't understand that. They think it is just about Diddy. They don't understand. Once you make this a precedent, I mean, they can do whatever they want to do in about your bedroom, and that's not cool.
That's not
Right.
right. If I want to have a swinger's lifestyle, I don't do that. But hypothetically, say I do. I don't want no government in my private business. Stay out of my bedroom. Like Emily
That's a
Knows
fact.
Everything said. Um, she kind of says to everyone, I didn't invite you in my bedroom. And when Mark Agnifilo said, and I applaud the man like no one's business. At some point, when do you stop trusting the government? And that comment really got to me. Man
Yeah,
has power.
yeah. He got a hell of a team. I mean,
Hell
Brian
yes.
Brian Still. Once I heard Brian Still was on the case, I'm a fan. I once he must have seen the discovery and just knew like this case is weak. I don't think he would take it on if it wasn't
That's one
a
thing about
chance.
Brian. You're right. Brian will not take a case if he doesn't believe. It's not that he believes the person's angel or not guilty. He just don't. He takes a case when he feels that the case is not being charged correctly.
I
You
was
know, I'm a pretty
Right.
good judge of character. I think. I really don't. I really think Brian Still is really a good guy. I think he's sincere. I don't think he does this for the money. I think he,
Right.
he
I'm a
really
Still
knows the
fan.
law. Yeah, he's up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe in him.
Yeah. He do. I think he do. I think like you're right. It's not all about the money for him, but he cares about people's lives and he care about the defendants who are wrongfully confused, wrongfully charged, and is being targeted by the government or by the state, like we seen in the YSL case. So you definitely right about that, bro.
I have a
Yeah.
question. Say he is convicted. Worst case scenario.
Hmm.
How soon can he file that appeal? Because I'm pretty sure right now
He could
we don't
file it
know.
right. He could file it right away, but it's just
Yeah.
that time whether or not they're going to get it when they get it to the to be heard.
Yeah. He can file his notice of appeal, and then once you file your notice of appeal, he could then file his actual appeal. But I'm sure that's what Mr. Steele is on this case for, like as part as being because he's a good appellate attorney as well. He's
Who
really
is?
good.
Brian
Mr.
Steele?
Brown Steele. Yeah.
Yes.
He's a beast.
Shapiro. She is also a unit.
Yeah.
Like, she is the She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't mean, I'm not trying to talk down about the judge, but he has a 2-year experience.
Oh, he
Now,
do?
that's what I'm hearing. That's what someone said. Now, to me, he is being for the prosecution. Now, this is what I'm reading, and
Well,
I agree to
my
a point, but he doesn't want to ruin his reputation. But to me, if other people are saying, plenty of people feel the same way that I do. Now, if he takes on another case, there's going to be a lot of hesitation.
well, from what I know, my limited experience and knowledge, but what I can tell, it's par for the course. All the judges, they're gonna be biased towards the prosecution. That's just how it go. They get the
You mean twisted?
YSL trial was overkill, but they always gonna go. It's very hard to get mistrials and all that, but you got to put them forward to get an appeal. But they always gonna work with the prosecutors, and they always gonna be biased. And that's just how it goes. From what I can see from most cases I observe. What do you think, Miss Sylvia?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. They all getting paid by the same person, so they really on the same team. So
Yep.
I
that's why
heard.
that's why
I
a lot of stuff, Brian, the defense, they let it. They don't come too aggressive. They have to do it respectfully, and you know they know when they're being uh, mistreated, but they just have to grin and bear it and be like, okay.
see what really bothers me is everyone is saying, "Oh, Diddy's paying the jurors off and this and that." To me, what I see is Brian Steele, Nicole Westmoreland, who's the other guy, Tenny Garagos, Jason Driscoll. I can go on. They all they are a unit, and if they are creating this much reasonable doubt, like they're doing their jobs. That ain't no paying off for jurors and all that. Like people are on for saying that.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's getting paid off at this point. It's too high profile for one.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
That, my friends, is why you have defense lawyers, because they do all the bribing, if you will, and paying off, as you will, through their questioning. Well, you said this, but Diddy was over here. Now, how can you reach from New
Your
York
your
all the
phone
way
is messing up.
on my end?
Yeah, it's giving us feedback.
Hold on a second. How is it now?
This is right
Really?
here, right, guys?
I don't know. I didn't really notice anything, to be honest. But
Yeah, I can hear a little bit, but it was breaking up. I can hear you though.
I'm
Um,
not sure what's going on.
let everybody try muting while she speaks.
Let me try something here.
okay.
You guys talk and see if it resolves here. Let me
It's
just test.
working now. It's working now. Now everybody's muting.
That's weird. Um, because I did have a second tab open of the live, but it was on mute. I'm on my computer, so maybe that's the problem.
It's okay. Okay, guys. I don't understand where you guys are coming from with these comments. You said, Sylvia, it looks like 11 jurors want to lock him up. Where are you getting that information from?
I heard there was a few. I heard there was a few that because
Huh?
I'm
They are how are they hearing that information where the jurors are you don't know information about what the jurors are doing. So I don't understand where they're getting that from.
it's rumors. I
Because first of all, the only person back there with the juror is one deputy. He can't tell anything that's going on behind in the back room. There's nobody in the back room but the jurors and that one deputy. So where are they getting these 11 trying to get him convicted and stuff like? Where are they getting that information from?
They lying because they tried to say that juror 25 had already seen the evidence or something. And
Lord,
I was like, oh my gosh.
guys, stop making up stuff, please.
you know what I do? I just block them when they
Me
say,
too.
"Oh, Joe 25, this and that, blah blah blah." I'm like, mate, just stop, just stop. Okay? I know you want Diddy locked up, but you don't want Diddy locked up because then they could go after you. Hollywood,
That's true.
this conviction goes through. I've hearing, I don't know. Now, this is I'm going to say allegedly because I want to protect Sylvia and y'all. I hear if they convict Diddy, they're going after Kanye West. Allegedly.
Mm.
Allegedly. You do not want this man to go down, no matter how much we all
Yeah, I
dislike
heard that
Mr.
Kanye
Fine.
West came to the courthouse because they had mentioned his name. He wanted to see what they had on him or something.
Nah, that makes sense.
But anyway, guys, Please do not bring these fake rumors, fake news in here because we operate by facts. What's going on in the courtroom and stuff like that. No one knows what the jurors are saying. No one knows what's happening on the jury. Could y'all mute, please? Because, okay, no one knows. If you're hearing somebody saying that the jurors are convicting him and all that, that's a lie because we don't know what the jurors are saying at all. The only time we hear what the questions are is when they bring it over to the judge. There's only one deputy in that back room with the jurors that hears everything that the jurors are talking about and nobody else, okay? So if you're hearing all these fake news, it's a lie, okay?
I have a question. Actually, I have two questions. Have you seen the side where the holding cells are? Are they cells or are they rooms?
I don't know. I've never been in the back room, so I don't know.
And my other question is, I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought here.
Your show the other day was so the you had a call-in show and it was a lady. I guess her name was HR. I think that show was hilarious to me because like you guys were dealing with all the facts, but she had no facts and she just was, I guess, basing her argument off of speculation and lies. And I mean, the transcripts are there, the proof is there, but I don't know why people just want to speculate and assume when they could deal with the facts.
Jury nullification right now is Diddy's best friend. I remembered my question. In criminal trials, is it true the longer it goes on, like say a week or so of deliberations, the chances of Diddy not being convicted?
No, it doesn't go that way. It has nothing to do with that. Is that every case is different. It depends on the jury. It depends on the jury, their understanding and if they understand the law and I mean it just depends. It
I mean,
depends.
I mean, if you have like 0.7 grams of whatever substance, like Brandon Paul or whatever his name has had, I don't know to me how that's like Rico. Like these are people doing personal use, you know? I don't get that.
Hmm.
I really don't get that, but
Yeah. There was a question somebody had in here. You said what happened to juror 25? Nothing. Juror 25 is still there. Nothing happened. The judge took a question the answer back basically for him to continue deliberating and to follow the guidelines of what the job of a juror, and that's it. And they moved on to the next thing. Nothing happened to the juror.
another question that I have
Hmm.
is the judge is allowing the prosecution exhibits in. How come they don't want to allow the defense? Because if the defense's exhibits can exonerate their defendant, wouldn't they want that?
They are letting the defense exhibits in. It's just they redacting some items on the one that they talked about today. They redacted the subject line, but they're letting the exhibits in.
Now, to me, why would you want to do that? Because I'm hearing that people who are in the courtroom are saying that it's a little bit of biasness, if you will.
You got to remember what Benny said. You remember a majority of judges are old prosecutors, and who pays them? They pay the government pays them, so they're going to be leaning towards the prosecution side, and that is why most people ask for a jury of their peers so they have a chance instead of a judge making the rules.
I completely agree. And to me, by every person who has a trial, be it Diddy, whoever, this is not good for the due process. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Everyone deserves fairness. It's basically, I just don't know, to be honest.
I believe we have a great group of diversity in the group in the jurors. You have a wide range of age. You have seasoned individual who understand the lifestyle of things like that. And you have an actor on there who understand the entertainment side. So you have individuals with a lot of different background, very diverse. So that's probably why it's going to take a little minute, and it's not going to be that easy for them just to convict because they're going to really think it over.
I just don't, because I'm not in the States. I'm up north in Canada. Now, say me and my friend, we go down to the States and book a hotel room and, do what adults do, that him and I could maybe be charged with Mann Act violations.
Yeah.
So they gotta make sure they're doing this the right way. And to me, if they were partners, I'm having, challenges seeing how that can be, Mann Act violations.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Someone asked me to bring up the jury the verdict sheet. I'm gonna bring it up and I'm gonna show you guys what basically they're at. Okay, at the top part, there count one is the racketeering conspiracy, right? It says, do you find the defendant not guilty or guilty, right? And it says if and only if you find the defendant guilty on count one, which type of racketeering act do you unanimously find were involved in the offense, right? And what they're doing now is they're going through every single act and then they're saying guilty and not guilty. And we don't know what their answers is if they all agree unanimously. So to me, the one down here where they at right now, there's no agreement. And that's why they have to ask judge for clarification. Get what I'm saying? Hello?
Me?
Anybody?
Well, listen,
I see, like these acts here that you're showing. I don't know why they're putting that in, like the trafficking and the Mann Act. If it's like separately for counts 3 to 5, 2 to 5, I mean. Like,
Uh,
what are your mates doing?
no, I understand. I mean, what's the question? What's your question? There are 5 items, 5 counts that they have to go through. The Mann Act, I mean the racketeering has so many has 8 different what is that word again? Predicates, right? What is that word? Tell me that word again that they use.
Predicate. Doesn't that mean they plan it out? Or something
Predicate.
like that? Oh, another thing that I just remembered. The judge said, and I quote, is it involuntarily intoxication or voluntary intoxication?
Volunteer.
Because if that comes into play, all these little doodads, I call options doodads. I don't know why, but if you look at the options and that's part of it, I don't know if they're gonna get the Rico.
Yeah, the judge said if he was intoxicated, basically you can't get it because he's not in his right mind.
Exactly. I
He
hear
said,
you.
please read the instruction. Oh, that's too long for me to read, Latoya. I could send it to you. You could read it yourself because I'm not reading it tonight.
I wouldn't mind myself.
you gonna
I
go
am
back
not
there, right?
reading.
Go back.
Look, huh?
Yeah, give me rats. Shit open.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm listening.
I can hear you.
We talking about the rats at the hotel. They be running around in the parking lot and stuff.
Oh, so you outside the parking lot with the
Yeah,
rats?
I'm outside. Yeah, they be running around.
Well, what are your two's thoughts? What are you thinking? Do you think they're gonna do the conviction? And we got to take in count the intoxication here.
I mean,
So
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, I wasn't there at the whole trial, so I'm just trying to figure out like what, who sold drugs, like what, who, like why are they asking this question about distributing drugs? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm going to say something here. When Dana Bungolin testified, and she said, "Listen, mates, my friend, like Cassandra and I, we did narcotics together, controlled substances. I gave her drugs. Well, shouldn't Cassandra, Dana be on trial too?"
Yeah, they said they told the juror not to worry about who they who they charging it. That's none of their business. That's what they told the jurors. Don't worry
Now,
about that because I mean, like Mr. A said, that their target was Diddy. They wanted him. They've been following him, watching him for a while, and they just, hey, let's go scoop him up after this lawsuit. And I don't think they were ready. They didn't have enough evidence.
I think to me, Cassandra, if she didn't do that lawsuit, I don't think Diddy would be on trial.
No,
And
they gave him ammunition.
now, now they said something in the trial today about the RICO.
Hmm.
Is it only 5 years or is it 10 years? Because if it's 5 years, his chances of acquittal kind of go up, if you know what I mean.
They said it's 10 years.
Oh, I don't know. But see, this is when
Gave it a 10-year range.
people got to be honest and upfront. Because, i.e., the hotel video, they want us to think that he was dragging her back to the room for, a freak off. But when you see the full video, you see that he lets her go. And then he goes back into the room, and then she goes back to the room, grabs her stuff, and then leaves.
But he was
Like,
trying to get that phone.
That's what it
now,
was. That phone had nothing to do with no freak off. Because it was a jealousy thing going on.
I definitely believe that because what do our phones hold? Like Kenny Gallagher said, well, we can all use on life experiences to realize our phones hold the infidelities of secrecy.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I've had ears and eyes on the ground as well as you throughout the trial,
Hmm.
and I've received a lot of knowledge. And I thought to myself last night, when does this trial start? When does the evidence show up? Where are these real victims? And not the ones after a payday or the plants,
Yeah.
if there are.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey Sylvia, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? We missed you from the other night, right? And thank you for the Cash App. I saw it after we got off.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So, well, from my understanding, the judge read these instructions. This is just a part of the instruction. It says RICO has a 5-year statute of limitation. You must find that it continued past 2019. If you find that the government has not proved this beyond a reasonable doubt, you must find him not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the reason why they were trying to get the part where she was still sleeping with him in 2021.
Yeah, that's why they brought Jane in there.
Well, they wouldn't be able to convict him based off of Jane's story. They needed Cassie's. And the
Mm-hmm.
only way they were able to introduce A RICO is to get that video in and then get Cassie's testimony to say this is a behavior, which equals a RICO. But the statute of limitations has run out in California. It's only 5 years for a RICO.
Mhm.
So if it's continued past 2019 and they haven't proven it beyond a reasonable doubt, then you must find him not guilty.
Yeah, that's why they're not doing it in California. They did it in the southern
Right.
state.
But the judge gave those instructions.
Yeah, but also at the end, remember they talk about the venue
Uh-huh.
because the venue. Say they did it all in California. That
Mhm.
means the Southern New York Southern District is the wrong venue for them to even charge.
Right.
The whole thing is so crazy and mixed up. It's very confusing.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is they know that Cassie's situation would be a little shaky because they're asking to use California laws as well. And that will mean the statute in California is 5 years because the judge says if this
Get the blood to where at the tips are. Oh yeah, because you smoke like.
has continued past 2019. So yes, it continued past 2019, but they were able to bring it in because they're trying to prove a behavior. And then Cassie actually slept with him in 2021.
Uh-huh.
I think they're trying to, but I think they're trying to get that in because of that 2021. I'm pretty sure that that's what they're trying to do. Now, that's going to be a little hard because Cassie sent those text messages saying freak off forever and the orny part thing, which is the title they wanted to keep out because they didn't want to draw attention to that title.
Yeah.
So I think and Jane, I think they knew they would have problems with Jane. Who?
See, their case is not strong at all. And you notice they kept KK name out of it. They didn't put her name in there. They didn't even define who is part of the conspiracy. You notice it's not in the
Right.
instruction.
Mm-hmm. And
Did
then
you
and in
did
the
you
instructions
judge?
also it says something about if you find that the person was um and with the
Even
use
though
of alcohol or some influence under the influence, you can consider that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that I don't know if I'm reading this right. I think the prosecutor set a low bar on the rug part because they want that in. But I think the judge might have threw something in there that said they give you an out on that.
Yep.
I think, and even on the RICO part, I think the judge might have threw something in there to give it out. But I don't think they're gonna be able to get 12 people to agree. And Ashley Merchant entered the the chat on X saying
Mm-hmm.
the judge cannot strong arm and it's not a law for them to reach a verdict unanimously.
Yeah, they
Can I
not they
say? Oh,
huh?
go ahead, Miss Sylvia. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you about to say?
No, I was gonna say that, there's gonna be a couple of them just gonna hold out and not and
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna come to an agreement. I'm telling you, these people are strong-willed individuals. They look like they're not going to. It's going to be a hung jury. I always said that it was going to be a hung jury.
I do
Yeah,
too.
that's true. And I understand people in the comments saying that he's a woman beater. He is. He is. But he's not charged with that in this. This is a RICO. This is a racketeering conspiracy sex trap. This has nothing to do with beating. The the government's case is so freaking weak that they had to use domestic violence video to help their case, to inflict emotional trauma upon the jury so that they can get them so sad that they will, oh, but don't forget, Cassie said on her direct and cross examination that she hits him too. She's an abuser. She beats on men as well. Did you not read that? Did you not hear that get reported to the press?
Yeah, Cassie.
I mean, Cassie said she said it. She said she was beating him too. Sometimes he hit me first. Sometimes I hit him first, and we go from there. That's what she said. That was her in her testimony. And I don't understand why people think, or why other women, such as the one in the comments here, think that women cannot be abusive. You can.
Women can
Yes,
be abusive.
definitely women can be abusive.
Women can be abusive because a woman hit my son with a crowbar while he was changing his tire.
But see that they don't understand.
And
See,
she followed him. She
a lot
followed
of
him.
a lot of time men don't report it because folks don't, they don't think it's cool for a guy to be like saying a woman hit him. They be like, it's like
Right.
a laughing moment, but it
Yeah,
is do abuse.
yeah. And my son did not report it because she had kids. He told me about it because I was on the phone with him. He said, "Mom, she is behind me. She's following me in my car. I have to pull over because my car is on flat." Yeah. So women can be abusive. A lot of women are abusive, and they even go way far beyond abuse as well. They do plots for other things too.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all want to know something? R. Kelly was convicted in January. January. His what you call it? His sentencing was on June 29th, yesterday.
Yeah, why should Diddy get life for hitting her? Do you not know that men, especially in North Carolina, they beat women so bad and they go to court and the judge give them unsecured bonds, let them back out of jail. Then when it's time to go to sentencing, they put on unsupervised probation. They're going back to the woman's house. So at the end of the day, I feel like that this video is nothing but more like simple assault. That's why the prosecution did not want Mr. What's his name? I be forget. Mr. Anifilo did not want Mr. Anifilo to kind of tell the jury what kind of case it was and what charge it would be because they know it would not be charged federally.
Well, they
If it,
couldn't charge it anyway because it happened. There's a statute. The statute of limitation. It happened in California. I'm from Los Angeles. The statute of limitation had already run out, so they weren't going to be able to charge him anyway. Which is the reason why California said there's nothing I can do about it. Number one, the person, the hotel, the manager in the hotel. So when Diddy said, "I just need that tape back. I just need that tape back. I just need that tape back," I mean, it will just ruin my reputation. So he was in desperate need. And then, so when the hotel manager went and asked told his boss that he just wants the tape back, and what did the boss say? He can get it for $50,000. So technically, it was the hotel manager who asked him for the money. Diddy didn't even say anything. He could have said, "Well, I'll give him a signed pair of socks," whatever. But he never said anything about any money or what have you. As well as the hotel never did call the police. And I think people are confusing that part because the hotel did not call the police. Who called the police? It was Cassie's friend called the police. She went over to her friend's house. That's when the police got involved. Cassie would not give them any information. But the hotel never called the police. So it wasn't a bribery because he didn't bribe anybody. And the determination of bribery, he has to be able to bribe an elected official or a police officer, a judge, or something like that, which falls under that. That's where bribery comes from.
And then also when you're saying that intimidate, I mean tampering with a witness, that person wasn't a witness at the time. You didn't even know was was gonna get to that point. So I
it
don't
was not a
understand.
legal proceeding.
It was never a legal
It was
proceeding.
never a legal proceeding. Like they didn't even like you listen. I
They didn't
listen.
even expect to testify. They didn't even expect the case to be coming. they didn't expect any of that. So Diddy is not bribing because he didn't expect a case to be coming. He just wanted the tape like anybody would want the tape.
I know why Diddy wanted that tape. And back with
Let
you.
me say that. Let me say this real quick before y'all say what y'all was about to say. I'm gonna tell you how I know Cassie is not a. I'm a real journalist, and I deal with real victims every day. Now, let me tell you one thing: how I know Cassie is not a real victim. Real victims call the police every time they get beat up. I'm not all of them, but what they do is they don't show up for court. They press charges. They don't show up for court. They don't because they want to drop the charges. They don't want to lock him up, but they constantly call, but they never show up for court. So the person never gets actually prosecuted because they'll be like wound up going back to him. And then you have some who don't even call the police. But this girl was with Diddy for how long? And not one time did she ever call the police?
11 years, I think it was.
11 years and you never called the police? You never. Her mom did, but she never did. She
See,
never made the report.
yeah, Cassie has always been. If you guys listen to the testimony, Cassie was the one feeding the information to people.
Hmm.
She was the one feeding the information to her mom. She was the one feeding the information to her now husband, and saying that he did that to her, and that's because of her little situation that she had going on at the time that he tried to FaceTime her.
What?
Cassie has been
Right.
the one feeding the information, and I think if people just put the DV video to the side for a
To the
moment
side for
and
the
just
moment.
listen straight, you will get a straight and narrow situation of who Cassie really is. Starting from, she probably was with Ryan Leslie when she was about 17, 18 years old. Who knows? I don't know.
Confirmed.
But she was with him very young, and she got with him. But just listen to the testimony of Cassie. Listen to her. Think well, you have to listen to the text messages as they read them out. Just listen at when people were saying, or whomever was telling her, just leave, just leave. Well, who else I'm going to get? Well, girl, go get you a regular guy. No, Jay-Z is already taken. What you looking at Jay-Z for?
See, I'm
That's
gonna dissect.
her thought process is, I need to be with these type of men. That is her thought process. And you can't say that I mean, I've seen it also in the messages before. Stockholm disease. Well, everybody got Stockholm disease for as far as that's concerned. Every single person sitting up here claiming that.
I
And
can dissect her comment when she said, "Well, who else can I go to? Jay-Z is taken." To me,
Oh,
now
she did say that.
allegedly, she wants to be social climbing. You know what I mean?
yeah, if she could get a Barack Obama, she'd have went after him. And that's the truth. That she wanted to be where she was and who she was. She didn't want just a regular Johnny. She didn't want him. She didn't want a regular Kevin. She wanted a high profile person.
Right, right. Nah, she know what they want. Man, listen, all
Yeah,
these people ain't nothing but hoes. Excuse my language. That's all they are.
she
Oh,
was willing.
I
Okay.
agree.
Lord, you know they're gonna have a fit. You say that word. Lord have
She
mercy.
was willing to leave Ryan Leslie because Ryan Leslie was on the bottom of the entertainment world. She needed to get to the top. She was willing to leave him just like that.
But to me, okay, so you want that high A-list name. So, girl, why are you with a fitness trainer, former fitness trainer?
Yeah,
Well,
she cheat like crazy. Oh my
yeah,
God.
because he ended up with him because she the last straw for Cassie was the funeral of
Kim Porter.
that was the last straw for her. Once she realized that she was not the soulmate, and that was what it was for her. That's when she decided that she was going to leave. But Cassie is not an angel. I'm not saying she deserved that all of that, but she's not. But also the prosecutors also said that he was dragging her back to the freak off. Cassie was fully dressed. if they were in the middle of a freak off and he was dragging her back,
Wouldn't she have been
he would have been in a towel too.
exactly? Thank you. You cleaned
Well,
up what I was
with a
going to
regular
say.
dress, she wouldn't have been fully dressed. She had a hoodie on and everything. And Cassie also said that that wasn't what it was. They were arguing about something. It didn't have nothing to do with no freak off. I think the freak off either happened already or what have you, but that was not true.
Did you all hear of the Cassandra audio about a male entertainer?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
She
the
was going in.
the unalivement threat. Now, to me, I heard about that before the audio leaked out, and I'm like, Cassandra, you ain't nothing. Yes, I feel bad for your the domestic dispute. No girl deserves that. No one deserves that. But if I hit a guy, for example, I expect him to hit me back. Now, I don't agree with it. Like if I have a dispute, I solve it verbally. And if I can't solve it verbally, I just walk away. So,
Yeah.
anywho,
Juicy Love. Cassie, they said she was a model before she met Ryan, and probably so, but I don't think Cassie have any talent. I'm gonna be honest with you. She might be beautiful, but there's a lot of beautiful models. I don't believe Cassie had any talent.
and then she says she's afraid of guns, but I heard that she had a photo of her with a pew
Don't say
pew in
the
her
word.
mouth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't say the word.
No, I was gonna say pew pew. I'm like, what can I say on here? I know when it comes to the rugs, I have to say rugs. I like to say substances,
Mhm.
but yeah, once I heard that audio, I'm like, oh my god, like, are you really a victim? And now, to me, she said in her lawsuit, the balcony incident happened at a hotel, but then the friend comes up, the substance distributor,
Says it happened at her house.
said exactly. Now, to me, if I'm a juror, I'm like, okay, like I'm scratching my head. Well, what do I believe? And that comes to the judge's comment for it for the witnesses that had immunity. You got to be. I forget what the comment was, but something of you got to be careful with that testimony or something.
Yeah. And then I think also wasn't it something where apparently she likes ketamine. She likes that one.
She likes the special K.
She likes, but Diddy doesn't. He doesn't like the way it make him feel.
Did
Okay, my darling people, my darlings, please say your last word because I gotta go to sleep. I'm falling asleep over here, and folks have a fit when I fall asleep. So,
Uh,
Raven, Raven, give me your last word, and then
the bad.
the bat. Oh,
Nope.
okay. Go ahead, Raven.
Well, I'm going to say this. For everyone else's sake and Hollywood's sake, I really hope they exercise jury nullification. Because they went after Diddy, go after Kanye West next. Who's after them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great content. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on here. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
Next time I'll do it a little bit early, okay, y'all? Next time.
You do it when you need to do it. I mean, I understand. We just appreciate you being out there. I have a question. Was it cold out there, or is it a little cool out there?
It's hot. It's hot.
Okay. I didn't know if it was cold or cool or what it was out there. I'm in Texas, so it's really hot out here.
It's hot. But you
but-
go ahead,
But I mean, I hope that he is found not guilty on all counts. I really do. And I don't have a dog in the fight for Diddy or anything like that, but I don't want him to be in jail for him for this. This is not it. And as far as women are concerned, if you want a person who's beating you or whatever, you need to call the police. You need to go to the police. You can still file a civil suit. You just need to go to the police. If you don't go to the police, you're not gonna ever get justice. And then why wait years later just to go and try and get a bag? You can get justice and a bag at the same time.
Yep, you're right. All right, my darling people, you guys have a great, great and wonderful night. I have to go to bed because I got to get up in the morning and I want to get a full night rest. Good night, everybody.
Night,
Oh,
y'all.
okay. Thank you, Brandy, for the Cash App. Thank you, Lady L, for the Cash App. You guys have a good night. Bye. Thanks again, Raven and Crystal.
Anytime.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me, we laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night.